This one was sent to me by Jassa, because I guess this is going to be his rep now, probably, assuming they win the election. So Milat Kiros becomes the 28th far-left candidate to win a Democratic primary this year as socialists amass power. I took this from Fox News because they're fear-mongering, just like, they're trying so hard to make it sound bad, but it's just like, this sounds amazing.
It's like, wait, workers' rights? That sounds based as fuck.
Yeah. If you're not careful, they might give you health care.
Actually, I'd like them to give me health care so I can be a little less careful with my life, thanks.
That's not why I want health care, but yes, I want health care.
Look, the idea that I have to be hyper-aware to the point of anxiety anytime I think that there might be something that could cause me even the slightest injury or infection is something I ought not have to worry about.
That's fair. I guess as someone that doesn't have to worry about that, I was more thinking along the lines of, like, actual things that you would, like, hey, I'm going to go be a daredevil now, because if I crash and break all the bones in my body, I don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, no, not that line of reasoning. Just the line of there's a level of anxiety that you naturally have when...
I stubbed my toe really, really hard, and I'm not sure if it's broken, and if I don't go to the hospital, it might get worse later, so...
Yep.
That sort of thing.
That's what I'm trying to avoid.
That actually, real life story, that came from me, and I did not go to the hospital because I didn't feel like going through the rigmarole. But we have this wonderful thing in Ontario called telehealth, where you can call a phone number, and there's a nurse practitioner on the other end of that phone that'll be like, hey, tell me about your problem, and I'll tell you whether you probably need to go to the hospital and see an actual doctor, or if you have time to make an appointment, or if you just, take some Advil or something. And she was not worried about my toe, so I took some Advil, and it was black for a couple weeks, but it was not broken.
Yeah, that's a win in my book.
And I didn't have to go sit in a hospital.
Also a win in my book.
Anyway, Milat Kiros has become the 20... I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right. It looks like an easy enough name to say, but I could easily see me putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable or something. But they have become the 28th candidate endorsed by a far-left group to win a Democratic primary election cycle, according to Fox News Review. So,
cool.
Yeah, the Democratic Socialists are winning primaries.
Yeah, this is good information. This is happy news.
And, of course, they're trying to do guilt by association thing, where the 29-year-old Democrat Socialist is now in the same company as Graham Plattner, the scandal-plagued Democratic Senate nominee in Maine. Yeah, not a fan of Graham Plattner.
Why does that even matter? He's part of the same political party. All right, cool. He's also the part...
This is Fox News complaining about someone else being scandal-plagued. Have you met the President of the United States, Fox News?
Also... Not gonna lie, as far as I'm concerned, until I see Graham Plattner actually go through with being a Fetterman, I think that he has a better chance of not being a Fetterman. Based on his story alone, the fact that he's rubber banding from the other direction instead of Fetterman, who did it from left to right, I'm almost always going to be more trustworthy of the person who goes from right to left, not just because that's my side, but also because that's somebody who has a perspective that I like.
Well, we've also... It is so ubiquitous nowadays that, like, as soon as a left-wing figure makes a hard turn to the right, then it's like 2 months later the sexual assault allegations come out.
Yeah.
So it's like...
That's...
And in this case, there were sexual assault allegations, and they happened before the switch. So it's like it's almost exactly reversed. Which, like, I'm going to say right now, I do not feel great about Graham Plattner. But if we got to choose someone who's scandal plagued, he's got a lot less of them than a lot of people in the GOP.
Yeah, and like, if I'm being honest, like I said, it's not just the hey, this person's on my side. I particularly resonate with the perspective of somebody who moves from that ideology over to a less caustic one. Mm-hmm. I am always going to be, fearful's not the word, but more trepidatious when somebody on the left starts shifting more to the right, because I start wondering, is it that you were on the left for the wrong reasons in the first place? Is it that you are moving over to that direction because there's money in that direction? Are you moving there because you just really want to say the R slur in public, and that's something that you aren't comfortable just holding to yourself or with like close friends and shit? What's the reasoning for it? Because I've heard every single fucking one of those.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the money
Sometimes
being a reason.
The same person.
Sometimes it's the same person. I've seen it be the money. I've seen it be the I just really want to talk like I'm in a COD lobby. And I'm just like, you already can. It's called your fucking dinner table where you can't hurt anybody. You have that option.
It's giving big Bertrand Russell.
Taryn says you're wary. Wary is probably a better word. Yeah, wary's probably a much better word, because like
wary is the word that I was thinking of as well, but I also hate using the word wary because too many people confuse it with weary, and that's one of those things that bothers me, even though it doesn't actually matter.
I could.
So
see
I wasn't
that.
gonna go there.
Weary.
But now someone else brought it up, so we're here.
Weary means EP. Wary means I'm scared that you're gonna put something in my drink that makes me EP.
Correct, but so many times I hear people say, I am weary of this, and it doesn't mean they're tired of it, it means they are like... Leery would be another word for that.
Fair. That's fair. Also got a comment from Biggest Bunny. Said, hey, Cirrus, longtime follower from the Mad to the Gathering channel. Keep being based. Appreciative. I appreciate it. Wow. Okay, cool. I need more caffeine.
Apparently Plattner isn't running on the DSA. He's just a Democrat.
Yeah, he's just a Democrat. So that's why I said it's literally them just saying he's a Democrat. We don't like him. I
was unsure of that. I was like, okay, I don't remember seeing anything saying he was in the DSA, but like maybe I just missed it, maybe I forgot, I don't know. So when they say the Democratic Socialist is now in the same company as Graham Plattner, in my brain that connects the two and is like, oh, Graham Plattner is a Democratic Socialist.
Yep, not the case.
So yeah, no, Fox News be lying. Surprise, surprise.
Why you always lying?
Yeah. But she's also in the this is also why I thought that, because the next thing is they're also in the presence of the trio of Zoran Mamdani backed House nominees, Brad Lander, Claire Valdez, and Daria Liza Avila Chevalier.
Can I say something about
and
Mamdani?
Again, those ones are all DSA, right?
I do not know off the top of my head, but
it's the three that Zoran backed and they won. And I feel like they were all DSA.
Could be the case. I would have to hip fire from memory or Google it real quick.
We can't do that.
I can't Google it, because when I Google it, it doesn't take away from the stream as much. But when Rhino Googles it, it takes away from the stream, and that's way funnier. So,
well, especially now that I'm using screen capture stuff, so you get to see me Google it as I do.
But my thing right now with Mamdani, are we going to talk about the latest scandal with the pool?
He jumped in the pool?
Yeah. Are we going to talk about that one?
Now? Is that a scandal now?
It's the current tan suit scandal.
Oh, God, because I saw the video. Okay. So here's the thing. There are legitimate criticisms to be made of Mamdani.
Uh-huh.
There have been a few things that he has walked back that I'm kind of like, I wish he didn't walk that back. Now, thank you for the 10 community subs, Conton83. That's amazing. Thank you.
Pool maxing?
God. Yeah, so there are some things that I wish he was doing differently. But that being said, he's actually doing shit. So, like, yeah, he's not doing as much as I would like. He's not doing as much as he's promised. He's not doing it as quickly as we would like. But if you'll recall, if you go back to before he won and we were talking about him, I remember saying it, I guarantee you'll be able to find it, is that I am willing to bet that people are going to get disillusioned with him because he's going to get elected. He's going to do a lot of good stuff, but not everything. And people are going to focus on the not everything and be like, well, how come you didn't do that one? And get all disappointed and sad. And then the right is going to run with the things that he didn't accomplish, even though he did a lot more than any previous mayor.
Yep.
And that is exactly what we're seeing play out. And like, yeah, no, I'm not saying don't hold his feet to the fire.
Yeah, you should always hold your politicians' feet to the fire the entire time. Like, through their whole campaign and through their whole term in office.
I still feel good when I see stories about Mamdani.
Yeah.
So like he's not like turned into a bad guy.
No, what if I see Fetterman in the news? I assume that it's bad off the back. And then I read the article and I find that he's like palling around with some maggot idiot and like, oh, okay, cool. It is bad news. And then when it's Mamdani, it's almost always something that's like nice or wholesome or just good shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. I'm okay with that. Sure.
Yeah, he jumped into a pool in a suit.
Gozy says, on the
He's
one hand,
committing to the bet.
on the one hand, sock dems are capitalists, and that's bad. On the other hand, they're making establishment Democrats apologetic and showing that maybe shifting left is a really good idea. So that's good. That's actually really good. I'm willing to give them a pass for now.
This is what I've been saying for years now. It's primary season. If you want to send a message with your vote, primary season is the time to do it. Vote for the most progressive ones you can, and then in the general, you just suck it up and vote for whichever one's got the D beside their name.
Yeah.
And it is looking like it's working, because we've got 28 candidates who are being described as, okay, well, since they've got Graham Plattner lumped in with that, I'm not sure that all 28 of them are actually far-left socialists. But assuming that number is correct, we've got a lot of what the mainstream Democratic Party would consider to be far left, and they're winning. The progressives win. People want this shit. Because the progressives are the ones out here being like, hey, those guys that are getting rich trading stocks, but they've got a D beside their name, they're not doing stuff for you. We should probably do some stuff for you.
And that is
and
fucking
that
fantastic.
Resonates with people, especially in an economy that has been completely trashed by Republicans. Because, like, who knew that going to war with a country that had the ability to choke off the world's supply of oil would make oil prices go up? Who could have possibly predicted that?
It's almost like we trade with countries like Iran for oil and could have figured this shit out ages ago.
I have been enjoying the stream of news about solar power taking off in various countries.
You know, actually, speaking of that, I learned something recently that I was completely unaware of. So you know how, at least here in the US, one of the big problems we have with our data centers is that they are raping the environment, to use the French?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that in China, and this is not to say China's the best-based country in the world. No, fuck that shit. But in China, for their data centers, they actually have a handful of laws that force them to use majority, if not all, renewable energy for their data centers. And their actual AIs that they've been producing, one of them's called ZAI, Zingu PAI or something like that. Their 5.2 model just came out, and it's open source. It's not closed and hyper monetized the way that like ChatGPT and Claude are.
Is this the one that's open source, but they stole all their stuff from ChatGPT?
It might be.
And then ChatGPT got mad about it, and they were just like, what are you gonna do? Because that's what all the AI companies do when they get caught stealing shit.
It might be the case. I haven't looked into that part yet, but it's the thing.
I know there was a Chinese AI company that they did that. They basically copied ChatGPT's homework. And ChatGPT was like, that's not fair. They can't take our intellectual property without our permission.
But you guys
and then the entire
do that.
world was like, boo hoo hoo.
So it's something that I did not know until K-Fox actually told me on that one, because we were talking about some of the protesting work that she had been doing to make sure that the data center that was being built near her was not able to actually get up off the ground and get all of its training data and all that. And that was one of the things that came up in that combo. It's like, oh, yeah, no, that's actually really cool. It's a shame that people like Peter Thiel and Musk are wanting to both rape the environment and also cause the end of the world with a singularity that they physically can't make happen with a large language model.
Yeah.
Anyway, I Have No Mouth, But I Must Scream is only a 40-minute audiobook for anybody who might want to read something really cool. For no reason.
I must announce to the stream that I just saw full frontal nudity.
Okay. That sounds base as fuck. 10 out of 10.
It was enjoyable. 10 out of 10.
I hope
Highly
it was.
recommend. Yeah, no, she just finished a shower and she popped in to flash me on her way out.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah. So, although not all 25 far left House candidates who won Democrat. Okay, is it 28 or is it 25? They can't get their numbers straight.
It's Fox News.
Yeah.
Look,
so
with the amount they cover CPAC, I doubt that they can't just get the numbers straight. I doubt that anything's fucking straight in that organization.
Not even their sexualities.
That's where I was going. Them boys get a lot of business when CPAC comes to town. All I'm saying.
Yeah. So 25 far left House candidates who won Democratic primaries this year are guaranteed. Oh yeah, they're not guaranteed to win their general elections in November, but many of them, including Kuros, are in solidly blue districts where Republican challengers have little chance of being successful. And in the best case scenario for the far left, they would have a 43-member block in the House of Representatives come January 2027. Let's go!
Melody says the question is McConnell still alive?
That is a good question. Is he still alive?
I think he is, because
Is Mitch McConnell
I would have read something about the
alive?
turtles going extinct if he died.
Mitch McConnell, well, Wikipedia is usually pretty quick about updating their... Yeah, no, it still says he's... Well, I mean, it doesn't still say he's alive, but there's no date of death.
No date of death, so, it's...
So, yeah, he's still up and turtling. But, so this is my favorite part of the article. They say, Kuros defeated Representative Diana DeGette, who served 15 terms in Congress by a nearly 10-point margin. DeGette was sworn into the House in January 1997, 4 months before Kuros was born. So I'm like, they're saying that as though it's a bad thing that she ousted an incumbent. But I'm sitting here like, holy fuck, that is way too long for one politician to have the same seat.
Yeah, Fox News will do anything that they can to make it seem like things are bad. Though, I will say this.
They're presenting this as though the incumbent deserves the seat just by virtue of the fact that they are the incumbent.
They believe that billionaires deserve the money by virtue of the fact that they have the word B in their title of money. Like, I'm sorry, but like, okay, so do you remember when it came out that One American News Network actually had mostly liberals working at it, but they literally were all forced the same way that a job forces anybody to do anything. Would you like to be able to put food on your table? Then you will do what I say. We're forced to make conservative articles irrespective of what their opinion was, because that was the spin that the paper wanted.
I vaguely recall something along those lines, yeah.
So learning about that with One American News Network and knowing the history of Fox News and why it is what it is and how it is what it is leads me to believe that most people who are working at Fox News, maybe not the pundits, but most everybody else there doesn't believe half the shit that they say.
Oh, we know that the Fox News people don't believe that. That came out in the depositions when they got sued for $700 million for lying to their audience.
Well, that's why they're news entertainment now.
Yeah. Like there were private text messages that came out, and that was people like, oh, I hate saying that, I can't wait till Trump is gone and we can stop doing all this stuff because he's such an asshole. And then they'd get on TV that night and be like, Trump is so amazing, we all love Trump, he's the greatest, let's suck his dick as much as we can.
Yeah.
So like, I don't believe that anybody at Fox actually believes the shit that they spew, except maybe Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, but he's not at Fox anymore.
No, he's not. And there is reason to believe that the reason he's not at Fox anymore is because he actually believed the stuff, so he was willing to go further than Fox wanted him to.
And that's been evidenced by the fact that he's currently going further than Fox would have allowed him to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In bringing Nick Fuentes into his circle.
Yeah. And he's now officially splitting from the GOP.
I mean,
which he is actually a big enough name that might actually cause a bit of a schism.
Maybe.
There is reason for hope. Not a lot of it, but there is reason for it.
Hope is a dangerous word. Insert the President Snow quote about
I was
here.
Just fucking thinking that.
Yeah?
It's like, where the fuck is, what's his name? God damn it, I was going to say Donald Glover, but he's not that man. Donald Sutherland, that's the one. Where's Donald Sutherland when you need him?
Said Ravi says, yeah, that was fucker Carlson who hates Trump. Yeah, he's definitely been very much on that train lately of, I want to go further right than even Trump, therefore.
Okay.
But he's basically taken the third position stance, which is why he's cozied up to people like Fuentes.
Okay. Dun.
What's going on?
No, I mentioned Donald Sutherland, so now I'm...
Oh, it's...
His last movie before he died was one that... It's one of those like, oh, you were a good actor, and that was the last movie you did? I want to say it was Moonfall.
Man, the film adaptation of Majora's Mask sure was mid.
Okay, no, Moonfall was not his last movie. I forget where I heard that. Apparently he was in Mr. Harrington's Phone, Miranda's Victim, Ozzy, Voice of the Forest, and then a couple TV shows. I've not heard of any of that. Moonfall was one of the most fun bad movies. Like, it's this generation's The Core.
Yeah, we established that a little while ago.
It's
sorry,
such a good bad movie.
We didn't establish that one. That got us on the conversation about Project Hail Mary and how Project Hail Mary is very much in the same line of The Core of, is most of the science correct? Who knows? Is it really fun? Yeah, pretty much.
Well, Project Hail Mary has better science in it than The Core and Moonfall.
Yeah?
Yes, very much so. Anyway, yeah, they go on to talk about how Daggett is the one that they would rather have because she supported Israel, whereas Kyros is like, Israel did a genocide. We should maybe stop giving them weapons and money.
You do not, in fact, have to hand it to them.
Yeah, so an anti-Israel candidate won her primary. So good job. Bad job scaremongering, Fox. That all sounded amazing.
Let's see. Badoomph said, entirely off topic to this, but how would you respond to a friend if they told you they can't engage in any long-form content and only consume Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts? So he doesn't even engage in his own interests, seemingly outside of games. He likes shit like Warhammer 40k for reference. So liking Warhammer 40k is not an indication of anything. I've seen like the most lefty trans girls be into 40k, and I've seen the most right-wing nutjobs be into it. So that's not a big indicator. What I will say though is if somebody can only consume short-form content, my response, and I shit you not, whether or not this is effective, just fucking make fun of them. That's the kind I would just make fun of that person. I am very sorry that as an adult, you have the taste and attention span of a 5-year-old child, and I think that is something that you absolutely need to get fixed. He says, Badoom says, I mean lore-heavy shit. Yeah, lore-heavy shit's great. But
you can learn lore-heavy shit in 90-second increments on TikTok.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, it's so hard parenting when there's a divorce situation and the other parent doesn't have a fucking clue how to do anything with regards to like content moderation. So like one of our kids went through a phase where they needed to know absolutely every last thing about the Lion King and all of the background lore. There's so much lore about the Lion King. Oh, I got another hat from Anselin. And there are so many lore videos on YouTube Shorts that is just an AI robot being like, Simba was the father of this person. Who was the father? It's fucking like the Bible, man. It's just so-and-so fathered so-and-so, who fathered so-and-so, who fathered so-and-so. And he would just eat that shit up 90 seconds at a time.
No, that's entirely fair. Because I go down those...
No, it's not fair. It is not fair. I want that to stop. I don't want them to watch short-form content.
It's fair in that I understand where you're coming from now, from the person likes big, like long-spanning lore shit, and yet they consume the stuff that is meant for being on cocaine.
Ah, I see. Yeah.
Badoom says, I was talking with him about how magic shrooms work in the brain. Very, very interesting, by the way. And after I sent like a page of text, he told me he didn't understand any of it and seemingly wasn't willing to use Google. And then he said his brain is too fried to engage, and I called that depressing and told him that seems that he doesn't have any curiosity in his heart. So I will say this. Always,
sounds like he needs a dopamine reset.
Always remember, first and foremost, sometimes your interests are not shared by another person. Sometimes that is entirely what is happening. So, like, for instance, if somebody's talking to me about how shrooms work in the brain, I'm largely not going to give a shit. I am not going to find it very interesting. However, if the reason for it is that they can't pay attention to long-form stuff, at that point, you need to have a conversation with them about what it looks like to detox. Not detox in the, I'm doing a juice cleanse, but no, like, actually fucking detox from dopamine, like Rhino was saying.
Dopamine reset, which is the whole, like, no screens for, like, I forget exactly how to do it, but it's like no screens for several days. You essentially have to force yourself to, like, relearn how to enjoy long-form content and not just get the immediate hit of dopamine from the fast-paced bullshit that's everywhere.
Like, if he's into cocaine, cocaine does give you quick highs, but it's got A, diminishing returns, and B, a long-form damage. Oh, by the way, that's the same fucking shit that happens with short-form content. Diminishing returns, and eventually long-form damage.
Yeah.
Hey, you made it to the end. I want to give an extra thanks to the patrons who allow me to do this full time. I want to thank Aaron Rail, Astral, Britzkrieg, Jemshin, Poundini, Red Joker, Victoria, Jonas, Craig, Tarika, Fireshard, Smiling GM, John, Dren Hadamada, Creeper, Sagitta, you know I'm not saying that last part, Sylvie Snow, Valis of Seraph, Ottoman Angel, Rooster Rachel, and Fire Panda, who are all my $20 and up patrons.